On behalf of the University of Kashmir, I welcome you all to this agreement signing ceremony between University of Kashmir and Tata Consultancy Services. I wholeheartedly welcome our chief guest at this occasion, Professor Talat Ahmed, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, and Shri Balaji Ganapati, Global Head CSR, and all the representatives of Tata Consultancy Services. As we all know that University of Kashmir stands committed to bridge the skill gap of its youth through partnerships with corporates, whereas TCS is engaged in the business of software development and providing consultancy services to its clients worldwide. So today we are going to sign a historic agreement between these two institutions that has been materialized after persistent discussions and deliberations and will be signed today, under which it is envisaged to carry out TCS programs through its CSR initiatives for our students and youth with a view to help them develop 21st century skills that they need to possess in order to be successful in the digital economy. Main objective of this agreement will be achieved mainly through 5 programs of TCS through its corporate social responsibility initiatives, namely Youth Employment Program, Go IT and Ignite My Future program, Adult Literacy program, Bridge IT program, which has been piloted to specially curate on tourism, and Entrepreneurship Development, Innovation and Skill Building program.
As the Vice Chancellor of this university, I can assure you that my team is very, very active like yours. And when I was in Jamia Millia, I used to get lots of students who used to come from Kashmir, even when I was teaching in Delhi University. So Kashmiri youths are very, very intelligent. Given the chance, as Balaji said, they can do lots. And they have proved their mental. Out of 100 students when we used to train for IAS coaching in Jamia, at least 20 of them used to make from Kashmir. So you can understand that how intelligent they are. Only problem is they should be given an opportunity. So this time when I have come to Kashmir, I emphasize that we have a coaching center on our own, and Mr. Geer and before him Professor Shafi, they were actually looking after this. And we look forward that with this sort of interaction with the TCS, we will be able to put lots of inputs for the youth of Kashmir, not only for our own students, even for others, the youth of Kashmir in general. As we were discussing, many of you have already told that there is lots of skill in Kashmir. It's a very, very old culture, making carpets and many other things. In addition to what we have is tourism. And now also we have horticulture. So there are lots of things, lots of possibility for entrepreneurship. Okay, and we have now also an entrepreneurship cell in the country, in the university. So I'm sure that with all the efforts that we are putting and with the help of TCS, there are lots of opportunities, lots of things are coming up. And I hope, particularly now that we have a Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship with our Institute of Technology. So that will be another area when you people will be visiting. We will also take you round and show you all the aspects that is being covered under this MoU, whether it is placement or communication skills, employability, skill enhancement, and many other things. So all these things are very much required. As Professor Masoodi also said, that many of the students who come from villages to study in Kashmir University, but they're very, very intelligent. Only those students who cannot get admission in Kashmir University go to Delhi University or other places in the country. So first preference is always here. Only thing is that they need to be given the skill to uh, represent themselves, put their case properly, that they can do excel. So I'm very much looking forward that this MoU signing will not be only a formality, but we will be practically doing lots of things to see that how best we can help the youth of Kashmir together with TCS.
First and foremost, it is our belief that everybody is born with equal potential but not with equal opportunity. And if given opportunity, people can really make better outcomes for themselves, better outcomes for their families, for their community, and for the state and the country that they live in. And access to opportunity is often a huge deterrent to that. And access to opportunity can be opened up with the right kind of skill sets and mindsets, especially when the digital economy is presenting us with new kind of jobs, new kind of careers, new kind of entrepreneurial pursuits and services that can benefit people across the world. It is with this premise that we have approached University of Kashmir, and we are very, very happy that you share our vision for the world that empowering young people, empowering people in the community, empowering families, empowering um, uh, those who do not have access is the pathway to really creating a better future for all. The focus on the areas that are outlined in the MoU are very purposeful as well. We believe that especially, public-private partnerships are a huge vehicle to help achieve the goals that we are outlining. For India to advance as a country, for Kashmir to advance as a state, for the students to really advance in their own careers and profession, and for their families to advance, it is very critical that the transition from college to career happens in a way where it is sustainable, that they are able to enter into jobs and careers that will not only help them to be employed and successful today, but that it does not get disrupted by new technological advances or new business model changes that happens 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. And some of the foundational skills that are required for that to happen are at the core of what this public-private partnership is aiming to achieve. 21st century skills is a broad definition, but within the scope of 21st century skills, I would like to point that the digital innovation skills and the design thinking, the entrepreneurial skills that we are talking about are a very, very conscious focus to create the kind of foundational skills that will stand the test of time. So I want to point that out just to share with you that we are very much committed to the partnership and the outcomes that we want to create. So I look forward to working with all of you. We look forward to working together in bringing our programs. But the larger purpose of our programs, which is to create positive outcomes for Kashmir and people in the state. Thank you so much.
This is again an historical moment for University of Kashmir in signing the Memorandum of Understanding with the Tatas, the 1868 born multinational conglomerate, which has made their mark not only in India but throughout the world. And probably this will give us a great opportunity because University of Kashmir, what we have already told that our extension activities which make the perception and which are the face of University of Kashmir, of course this memorandum of understanding will definitely enhance and increase our perception in the society. Particularly when we were talking about the adult education, which we now call as lifelong learning at University of Kashmir, and earlier what we were calling it the learning of 3 hours,
reading, writing, and arithmetics earlier times when it was called as adult education centers. So now we will get our illiterates, new illiterates, or illiterates will get an opportunity to learn through the digital medium about these 3 R's or beyond the 3 R's. So again, among the 6 components which were dealing the youth unemployment or employment, what we call, and particularly we were talking in the MoU about the enabling men and women for self-reliant or self-employment, which definitely need help for their employment, for their self-sustainability. So definitely this will improve our perception, and this will again help the Kashmiri society in empowering our underprivileged section of society. Then again, when tourism is all well, but again this is a great opportunity when we talk about the kids skill, and when we say that, again we always talk that we should catch the youth young, so that we can explore the talent and we can exploit their talent. It will again give a great opportunity to University of Kashmir to showcase their work particularly in the underprivileged or other society. Then again, when we talk about the teaching programs or the teaching of the teachers, or what we call in common terminology at adult education centers, we call them perks, or we call them resource persons. This will give a great opportunity to them.
It's indeed a moment of pleasure for all of us to sign this MoU between one of the famous business houses or organizations and University of Kashmir. Undoubtedly, this pleasure would have been manifold had all of us been together in this picturesque landscape of Valley of Kashmir. We look forward for that day also once this sapling starts bearing fruit. We pray for that. Like other parts of the country, the University of Kashmir is in the process of implementing the new national education policy. And one of the major features of this policy are that the policy wants researchers, academicians, research scholars, and students to be out of the boundaries of the institutions and get involved in the society, critically study the problems of the society and try to find out the probable solutions. Keeping that thing into consideration, I think this is golden opportunity for all of us, and which is very much in accordance with the corporate social responsibility of your organization. Particularly the areas that have been highlighted in the Memorandum of Understanding, they are undoubtedly strictly as per the priorities of this university. So you might have searched it, you might have conducted a research at your own level before proposing this Memorandum of Understanding with our university. You might have seen the status of this university. This university, undoubtedly, it's very prominent in the global map of research and academics. That's very evident by way of our research output and other indicators. But yes, undoubtedly, there are some gray areas where we would like to concentrate. The students of this university, they come from, as many other universities of the country, they come from a rural background. So many times we feel, yes, this is a gray area where our students need further training and education, that's communicating skills. Similarly, corporate etiquette practices, we are very happy that this has been prominently mentioned in the MoU. And then again, analytical thinking and problem-solving abilities of students, which will undoubtedly increase the capability of our youngsters. You have rightly identified the tourism as one of the areas where the two organizations, your organization and University of Kashmir would like to concentrate. But at the same time, there are many other areas which we can identify. Handicrafts are there, horticulture is there, agro processing is there. So maybe just sometimes identifying the opportunities, that too is very enough. That too will be a great opportunity. That too will be a great contribution in case this MoU facilitates us to identify these such types of opportunities.
The whole concept of social responsibility for us, we draw from our founders' core paradigm, where community is so central to whatever we do. This is not just in India, global. And as TCS, we have put for ourselves this vision of empowering people in communities. And given the kind of company that we are, connect people to the opportunities of the digital economy. And how do we go about it? By building equitable, inclusive pathways. And we have identified 3 target groups, which becomes very relevant for us, for TCS and for the Tata Group as a whole, which is women, the youth, and the marginalized. The next set of slides will give you at a very high level, a glimpse into the flagship programs that we run, and very specifically in this context, along with the University of Kashmir. The first one is the adult literacy program, what we call literacy as a service to the nation, envisaged by our first CEO, father of the Indian IT industry, Dr. F.C. Kohli, bringing together all the 4 capitals of TCS, the intellectual, technology, financial, and human. And we have brought out these products, I would say, which help people who speak a language to be able to read and write over a period of 50 hours of training. A typical literacy program runs around for 200 hours. A quarter of that time is what is needed. This brings together all concepts of learning for adults. This is in 9 languages, Urdu and Hindi very specifically, very relevant to our discussion in the region, in addition to a couple of foreign languages too. And we have, using these softwares, we made close to 11 lakh people literate across the country. They are spread in around 160 districts, and working with a set of partners. And coming to Kashmir as a region, where we have worked with the Kathua jail and worked on the literacy of the prison inmates there. This is a study feature across the state, but we have a very clear proof of concept right here in the region. And this is something which has brought in a lot of changes in the beneficiaries, not just in terms of the ability to read and write, the social impact, the kind of confidence that brings into the woman who becomes literate. In fact, majority of those who we made literate through these softwares are women. And in addition to the functional literacy, now we are also adding digital literacy, financial literacy, citizen entitlements, and disaster risk mitigation modules. And these are the 2 programs which truly we believe help India, especially the school system of India. The public education system is our priority. Take it to a level which will actually help young boys and girls coming out of these schools and who go through a grooming like this, face the world and also lead the world in the technology wave that we are all embarking on. We as TCS believe we have entered into year 1 of a new 10-year technology cycle, and we truly believe, along with you, do this together for the state. And have the privilege and the thrill of working in this particular region.
Agreement is getting signed. May request everyone to clap wherever you are.
जी 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 एक साइन बाकी है.
On behalf of
I'll share it again.
Thank you.